Hasan Piker, widely known as Hasan Abi, is a progressive political commentator and one of Twitch's biggest streamers. He advocates for democratic socialism, emphasizing wealth redistribution, universal healthcare, workers' rights, and strong critiques of U.S. foreign policy. Formerly a host on The Young Turks, he gained mainstream attention for combining entertainment with leftist analysis. He's also known for his outspoken criticism of capitalism and conservative politics. Hasan often uses humor and pop culture to connect with younger audiences, making complex issues accessible. Destiny, real name Stephen Bennell, is a pioneering political live streamer who began as a professional StarCraft gamer before shifting toward debates and political commentary. He identifies as a liberal with strong emphasis on social democracy, free speech, and evidence-based arguments. Destiny often challenges both right-wing figures and far-left critics, positioning himself as a centrist left voice online. Known for his sharp debate style, he has significantly shaped Twitch and YouTube's political discourse while influencing younger, politically engaged audiences. Ethan Klein, host of the H3 podcast, is a cultural commentator who gradually became associated with progressive politics. Originally known for comedy and internet satire, Klein now often critiques right-wing influencers, misinformation, and conservative policies. He supports LGBTQ+ rights, reproductive freedom, and stricter gun control while promoting progressive social values. His shift from comedian to outspoken progressive makes him a notable internet personality. Despite controversies over provocative humor and clashes with other creators, Klein's platform blends entertainment with activism, reaching millions. Cenk Uygur, the co-founder and host of The Young Turks, one of the most influential progressive online news platforms, a strong advocate of campaign finance reform, universal healthcare, and anti-corporate politics, he positions himself as a voice against establishment corruption. Though controversial for blunt commentary and past statements, Uygur has shaped progressive media by amplifying grassroots movements and left-wing candidates. His confrontational style and opposition to U.S. foreign interventions made him a central figure in independent left-leaning journalism. Dean Withers is a rising left-wing online commentator who blends progressive advocacy with digital activism. He emphasizes social justice, labor rights, and climate action while strongly critiquing conservative and neoliberal ideologies. Through streaming and social media, Withers has cultivated a younger audience seeking alternative perspectives outside mainstream news. Though less established than major progressive figures, his unapologetic tone and commitment to leftist principles resonate with activists. Withers represents the new wave of digital-first political personalities shaping online progressive spaces today. David Pakman, host of The David Pakman Show, is a progressive political commentator known for calm, analytical takes on current events. He champions progressive taxation, universal healthcare, reproductive rights, and LGBTQ+ equality while consistently pushing back against right-wing extremism and authoritarianism. Pakman has built a loyal audience across radio, YouTube, and podcasts, standing out for his accessible approach to politics. Though less sensational than other commentators, his measured style, fact-driven analysis, and dedication to democratic values have made him a respected progressive voice. Harry Sisson is a Gen Z democratic activist and political commentator who gained prominence through TikTok and social media. Known for defending liberal and progressive policies, he emphasizes climate action, gun reform, student debt relief, and social justice issues. Sisson frequently counters conservative narratives aimed at young voters, making him a notable figure in online political debates. Though sometimes criticized for partisanship, he represents the growing influence of youth-led activism in shaping democratic messaging. His work illustrates the intersection of politics, digital culture, and generational advocacy. Vaush, a left-wing political streamer who advocates for libertarian socialism and progressive social reforms. Known for his debate-heavy style, he addresses topics such as wealth inequality, gender rights, and combating fascism. Vaush often clashes with both conservatives and elements of the far left, presenting himself as a pragmatic leftist focused on tangible change. His blunt rhetoric, strong online presence, and ability to mobilize young digital audiences make him an influential figure in online leftist discourse and progressive streaming culture. Mehdi Hasan, a journalist and broadcaster recognized for his sharp interviews and incisive critiques of political elites. A progressive voice, he champions human rights, civil liberties, and government accountability, while frequently challenging both conservative and establishment liberal narratives. Hasan has worked with Al Jazeera, MSNBC, and his own media projects, earning respect for rigorous questioning of political leaders. Though polarizing for his confrontational style, Hasan embodies principled progressive journalism, consistently spotlighting issues of inequality, war, and systemic injustice on global and domestic stages. Greenwald, a journalist and political commentator known for co-founding The Intercept and reporting on Edward Snowden's NSA leaks, Once strongly aligned with progressive causes, he advocates for civil liberties, press freedom, and skepticism of U.S. foreign policy. However, Greenwald has become controversial for critiquing liberal media and at times aligning with right-leaning platforms. Despite this, his influence in shaping debates on surveillance, government transparency, and media integrity remains significant. His career reflects tensions within progressive and anti-establishment political thought. Anna Kasparian, a progressive political commentator best known as co-host and producer of The Young Turks, a leading independent left-wing media outlet. She advocates for workers' rights, climate action, reproductive freedom, and reducing corporate influence in politics. Known for her sharp commentary and fiery delivery, Kasparian challenges both conservative policies and aspects of establishment liberalism. While firmly progressive, she also critiques elements of leftist discourse, giving her a nuanced voice. Her work makes complex issues accessible to younger audiences. Sam Seder, host of The Majority Report, is a long-standing progressive commentator and comedian. He advocates for democratic socialism, universal health care, labor rights, and robust social safety nets. Seder has built a reputation for debating conservatives and exposing weak arguments through humor and persistence. His show is a hub for leftist discussion, covering current events, economic inequality, and grassroots movements. While not as mainstream as cable pundits, his steady influence online and in progressive spaces cements him as a respected figure in leftist media. Contrapoints is a philosopher and YouTube creator whose highly produced video essays explore gender, politics, and culture. A transgender woman, she advocates for LGBTQ+ rights, feminism, and progressive social reforms. Wynn's channel stands out for combining art, philosophy, and biting satire to challenge far-right narratives, while also critiquing elements of leftist purity politics. Though occasionally embroiled in controversies, Contrapoints remains one of the most influential progressive cultural voices, shaping online discourse with creativity and intellectual depth. Jimmy Dore, a comedian turned political commentator who mixes humor with sharp critiques of U.S. politics. Once aligned with the Young Turks, he diverged by heavily criticizing the democratic establishment, corporate power, and U.S. foreign policy. Though still left-leaning, Dore often clashes with mainstream progressives for his populist, anti-establishment approach. He supports Medicare for all, anti-war positions, and systemic reforms. Controversial for promoting outsider views, he attracts a loyal audience skeptical of both political parties and conventional media narratives. Kulinski, host of Secular Talk and co-founder of Justice Democrats, is a prominent progressive commentator. He supports democratic socialism, Medicare for all, a Green New Deal, and campaign finance reform. Known for his straightforward, often fiery style, Kulinski has cultivated a large YouTube audience. While highly critical of Republicans, he also frequently challenges establishment Democrats, pushing for stronger progressive policies. Kulinski's influence lies in bridging online leftist activism with electoral politics, shaping the broader conversation about progressive reform in the U.S.